Hi guys, welcome to week 2 of Premier League predictions video, where I go through all the games that have been happening over this weekend and give you my score predictions. So without further ado, we kick off tonight with the Friday night football, which is Aston Villa versus Manchester United. And two teams that wasn't looking at their best last week, but both did get 3 points. But because Aston Villa are at home this weekend, I just fancy them to nick it. So I've gone for Aston Villa 1. Manchester United 0. Then we go on to Saturday's fixtures, and the early kick-off on BT Sport, which is Southampton versus Everton. Again, two teams that are quite lively, both like quite attacking football, but because it's like the second game of the season, I still think people are still trying to find their feet. So I've gone for a very tight Southampton 1, Everton 1. Then we move on to the 3 o'clock kick-offs on Saturday. And then the Sunderland versus Norwich. Now I thought that Norwich were very unlucky last week not to pull that back to 2-2. It was given as a foul, a foot up, which you'd think 9 times out of 10, your big boys that goal would have stood against them. So you got to feel sorry for Norwich a little bit. Sunderland, on the other hand, were absolutely awful in defence last week. You can tell that they have not improved at all. I think they've got about 2 weeks to get that right, make some signings and see if they can, strengthen that department, because they look absolutely rubbish at the moment, and it looks like they're going to be facing the relegation battle. Fair enough, you can't go on one game, but to lose 4-2 to Sunderland does not look like a very fantastic start. So I've gone for Sunderland 1, Norwich 2. Then we have West Ham versus Leicester, and obviously I just said that Leicester won 4-2 last week, so they're going to be on a massive high at the moment. It's a fantastic start to the Premier League. And West Ham had a fantastic start to the Premier League as well, because they beat Arsenal 2-0, which Arsenal are absolutely dreadful. And to go to the Emirates and win 2-0, is absolutely fantastic. And that sends out a massive message, that you mean business this year. And I'd like to see teams like West Ham, see if they could get into Europe. They are a top club. They've got some decent history. So again, could this be their year? I know they're thinking about doing a stadium. They're having a new stadium built, and like I said, to go to the Emirates last week on the first game of the season, and win 2-0, that sends out an absolutely massive message, and that's going to give them some a fantastic boost as well. So this weekend, because both teams are quite lively last week, I've gone for West Ham 2, Leicester 2. Then we move on to Watford versus West Brom. Again, you could say that Watford weren't at their best last week. Nor West Brom. West Brom, got absolutely battered by Manchester City. But I think it'll be a bit tighter this weekend, so I'm going to go for Watford 0, West Brom 0. Then the Spurs versus Stoke. Now again, Stoke didn't look their best against Liverpool, considering they were at home. And I don't think Spurs. Now Spurs look quite attacking last week. They did see a lot of the ball, and they did give Manchester United a really good go, and I thought they were very unlucky with the own goal as well. But they didn't look threatening going forward, if you like. I thought the only time they looked threatening was when Manchester United made their own errors, like the goalkeeper panicking all over the place and not having the communication with his defenders. But apart from that, I don't really think Spurs caused them much trouble, apart from having a lot of the ball. But because they're at home this weekend, and again they'll want to get up to a flying start, I've gone for Spurs 2, Stoke 0. And then the last of the 3 o'clock kick-offs on Saturday is Swansea versus Newcastle. Now Swansea gave it a really good go against Chelsea on Saturday. In fact, they got a draw out of it in the end. So because they're at home this weekend against Newcastle, I've gone all out, and I've gone for Swansea 3, Newcastle 1. There is no Saturday night football this weekend, so we move straight on to Sundays, which is Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Now Arsenal, as we said earlier in the video, were absolutely dreadful against West Ham last week, so they need to get off to a flying start on Sunday. They need to get themselves 3 points and get their season started. On the other hand, Crystal Palace is an absolutely terrifying and hard place to go to, Selhurst Park, and they're going to be buzzing getting them 3 points last week at Carrow Road. But because Arsenal have the talent and they have the class, I'm probably going on instinct here, and I'm probably looking at it in an Arsenal way, in a kind of way. So I did go for Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 2, but again I might be having a bit of wishful thinking there. I think it's possible for Arsenal to go to Selhurst Park. Sorry, I can't get my words out. And get 3 points there, but it's going to be very, very difficult. There's going to be no 3 or 4 nils in that game. You know, if we do get 3 points, it will be you know, 1 goal in it. I think yes, I've gone for 2-1. And then we move on to Manchester City versus Chelsea. Yeah, that's going to be a very, very tight game. So I've gone for Manchester City 1, Chelsea 1. And then to end off the weekend, well, I say weekend, it's Monday Night Football, so to end off these fixtures of the whole weekend is Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Now, was Liverpool at their best last week against Stoke? Probably not, but as you said, it only takes a split genius to change a game, which is what Coutinho did for them last week. I didn't see that goal coming, and I'm sure that the rest of the world, I'm sure Liverpool didn't even see that coming. It just came out of absolutely nowhere. It kind of reminded me of Alexis Sanchez's goal against Wembley, to be honest. And it's those kind of goals and that kind of thing in a game that can spark a game up and get your season started as well. So scoring a goal like that last week is going to get Liverpool's confidence going very high at the moment. And because it's Bournemouth, and no disrespect to Bournemouth whatsoever, because obviously they have just been promoted into the Premier League and they're going to be finding it tough, as they did last week against Aston Villa. Okay, Aston Villa wasn't at their best, but they did lose. And I don't think it gets any better for Bournemouth this weekend, because I've gone for Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0. I can't really see Bournemouth causing Liverpool problems at Anfield. As I say, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but you know, if Liverpool can go to Stoke and do a magical moment like that and get the 3 points, which is the same as Crystal Palace, is no easy place to go to, the Britannia Stadium, then I can say that Anfield is no easy place to go to either, on Bournemouth's behalf. And as I say, if Liverpool can go to Stoke and have the talent to change a game around and get 3 points at Stoke, I can't see them having a problem at Anfield getting 3 points. And if Liverpool can do that at Stoke, maybe, just maybe, Arsenal can have the talent to go to Selhurst Park and do that at Crystal Palace. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you'd like to, please do give it a thumb up. Comment in the comment section below of what you think that your scores will be. And I will see you next week for next week's prediction video. Thank you for watching, guys, and good luck to everybody over the weekend.